an orchestra conducted by Maestro Emeka Nwokedi.
Emeka Nwokedi, the maestro. Moson, rest in legacy. Despite of the surge and oppression of Afrobeats and newer song genres, Muson kept the tradition of the classicals. It's good.
Yeah.
It's nice. Some have to do the dirty work. One day we'll be back to genteel music. The music and like fashion is like times and seasons and all that. It rotates and it goes round and round. So I wish them successful festival. Uh, and by that we have come to the end of the global trade. That's what you said is is a sweet one. Getting old.
I know that songs, yeah.
At least it's not like the sad story. Okay, thank you so much. We'll take a short break. There's a song that's on by Jazzla. I want to go. It's called Weapon. Weapon. I want to hear what it is all about. It's Rotimi featuring Fireball. Listen to it. Weapon. I'm not able to play all the top radio things and all that. No, I don't know where it is. I'm going to risk this one. Oh man. Alex, are you ready with Global?
Yeah, I'm ready. I have it here. I hope you can still hear me clearly.
Yeah. You can manage it. You can manage it. It could be better, but it's still okay.
All right, I'll try. I'll try and raise my voice a little when we start.
But
Okay.
please don't tweak it. Just leave the machine as it is.
Don't
Don't touch it.
try
Don't
to
touch
get
it. Don't touch the machine. My experience.
don't try to get it, I mean, I forgot to put the live YouTube live or the first section that we did.
Oh.
We're on now. Listen to YouTube.
Sorry, I need to change this location.
We're back. That was a young man playing action movie, gunslinging with his girlfriend or partner, and it's a weapon of love. Not, I was thinking I was going to make some statements about weaponry and all that. The man is still love struck. Okay, let's move on. Our next segment is the global trends with Alex Ogundadebe. Please, you can join us. Make your comment this week. It's I'm not going to say the Nehemiah's lamentation. We are going to, we are going to complain a lot about what's going on because something things are going on that are not favorable. So you can join us to vent your spleen on 0913 697 3485. The number you can call in the studio 0913 697 3485. Alex, let's go.
All right, we're going right into global trends, and the first story is from the Middle East. The Middle East update. It says Lebanese authorities say Israel airstrikes killed 5 health workers in southern Lebanon on Wednesday.
There's still more. Go on.
Yeah. Then still the war on Gaza, or war in Gaza rather. United Nations Commission of Inquiry has accused Israel of war crimes in carrying out a concerted policy to destroy Gaza's healthcare system during its ongoing war with Hamas. The US has urged Israel to ensure the safety of UN peacekeepers in Lebanon after Israeli troops fired on UN bases in the south of the country. The UK government says it was appalled by the reports.
It's getting worse. Apparently, they are accusing the Hamas of using hospitals, underground spaces under hospitals as their operational bases. So they constantly attacks on those, and they are killing patients and
Hiding in the midst of civilians.
of civilians. Using civilians as shields, which is horrible.
It
But then
is.
it's not discriminatory. They're just I don't know. I just shooting people. Just shooting
And
people.
I don't think they need to go as far as Lebanon. At least they've driven most of the Hamas out of Gaza. Why are they going into Lebanon?
They claim they are running there, so they want to go and extinguish them there.
The problem with that tactic, though I'm not a military expert, but I think the problem with that tactic is, will it ever end? Can you ever finish killing them off?
You can, I mean, especially people who are sensitized and
Yeah.
and incensed by what's going on. They're not going to give up. And Israel will incur more problems because, for instance, the Yom Kippur that they did, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? It was a holy day for them. But they have to be hunkering down the bunkers, warning people to be careful. They may choose this to attack and all that stuff. There can't be peace of mind, because Iran is threatening to do something dastardly. Israel is reciprocating. Go on, Mr. T.
No, my submission is just very funny. The other time I said something like, "This is a war that should have been avoided." And the guys there, the ones they say they are running into Lebanon to go and kill people in the process, they are fighting an ideological war, something that has been enshrined in them through serious indoctrination and so many other things. So it's a generational war, and it's like you kill them now, more are still coming after. So when you all said is a war that seems to have no end, I agree. It's just the beginning of the end. It's not going to stop. Israel is not going to back down. And that
This
is where
may,
America has a problem.
yeah, but this may sound strange, but I think the only way it will end is if Benjamin Netanyahu is removed from office. I think that's the
Hmm.
only way. And for
But
now,
it's a national thing. If you remove him, it may be less, the next person may be less hawkish and confrontational. But the leader will have to reflect the mood of the people. If they want
Hmm.
sustained war or sustained action against people
yeah,
who walked over to their side and killed over 1,000, I mean, about 1,000 plus of them
well,
in one day,
Hmm.
and they said they want
what
to have a retributive action. You can't stop,
mm,
the leader can't stop them. They will remove him
I
from
think,
parliament.
well, why I said that is, there are a lot of issues. Now it's been over a year. This all
Hmm.
started October 7th. And
Yeah.
we must understand that Israel does not have a standing army. They have they don't have a standing army. What they do is they mobilize whenever there's war. And such mobilization normally is for a short term. And you
Mm-hmm.
can imagine the impact it's having on the Israeli society now.
I hear you. I get you. The problem, you need to read stories about the reservists, those who join up when war starts and all that. You hear their comments, hear the strain of arguments, and then the kind of mobilization that's going on. The, the kind of strategy of war that they are planning, that we can see they are planning, it doesn't need too many people.
Hmm.
Not
Mm.
too many people, just some wicked weaponry that can destroy without. I mean, if it's not the pressure of the United Nations and caution of US and all that stuff, this is Israelis. You did not read about those pager explosions.
Yeah, I did.
Hmm.
That,
Hmm. Hmm.
that kind of is that kind of tactics they are doing. They are not using too many people. But
Yeah.
they are ground. Fear those guys
It's
though.
an AI
But
fashioned war.
the problem is Hamas. You can't see them. You don't know which one is Hamas and which one is not. So you can be greeting a child and say hello, hello. Then the guy is planning to bomb you. You know. So it's a war without end, and the costs will be horrendous on both sides. They have to find a way of stopping it. But a point you have raised, which is legitimate, is that maybe Netanyahu out of the picture will lessen, tension and all that.
Yeah. 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 I think
Uh,
so too.
that is just, that- I don't know. I don't want to use a bad word for him. Let's move on.
All right, the next story is from the United Kingdom, and the title is A Nut's Job. A Nut's Job. It says a woman who murdered her parents and lived alongside their bodies for 4 years has been jailed for life by a UK court. Her
Hmm?
confession has been caught on a police body cam.
Hmm?
How do you, the world is full of strange things.
Wow.
How do you,
Oh, how?
it's a mental health issue. You know,
It definitely
for
is.
one thing, you kill your parents, then you didn't report to the police, you didn't run away, you are not scared, you live with them for
Four
4 years.
years.
It's not that they buried though. It must be embalming them and preserving them. And maybe
Yeah.
she's not
Yeah.
feeling sorry. She's now she's now feeling, she's now regretting her action and now willing them to come back to life and crazy things. 4 years.
Mm.
Ah, but even where they are jailing her, they have to leave her alone, no? Like a separate containment area.
They'll probably
This
put her
letter,
in a mental institution.
it has to be in a mental institution. It's strange. Well,
All right,
okay.
we have another strange story. It's titled Leg of Relief. It says the family of a climber who went missing on Everest 100 years ago have told of their relief after his foot was found preserved in ice on the mountain. How on earth did they know it was his foot? That's my
How could they
question.
have
They will do DNA. They
DNA?
must. They will do DNA tests
DNA?
on the leg. Yes. They say she has living relations. The what they call it, the genetics can still be found. They must, to be relieved, they must have been assured that it's their ancestors' leg. On them.
So they have closure now. They have
You
closure.
know,
They know.
Yoruba people have a saying, "Omo mi ku sanju omo mi nu omo nu lo." Omo ku sanju omo mi not my own child. You know, so when it's missing, your heart is never at peace. It may come. This will happen. But when it's confirmed, as bad as it is, at least you know for sure as a closure. You know, I suspect that is what they are relieved about. You know, not looking for any of a leg after 100 years. At least they have something to bury.
Yeah, it's closure. They have closure now.
It's better. Okay.
All right, next we're going to Japan, and the title of the story is Nihon Hidankyo. I suppose that's the name of a group.
Japanese group there.
A Japanese group of atomic bomb survivors campaigning to achieve a world free of nuclear weapons has won the 2024 Nobel Peace Prize.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
They don't want nuclear weapons. There have been discussions about nuclear weapons. Israel has them. Russia has them. Will they use them in those wars they are fighting? You know, we've heard all kinds of analysis.
The war next time, the world war next time. I hope I will not be around though. The war next time, I don't know. I don't know how we are going to survive it too. Because these people, with the kind of things I hear they are making, or we read that they are making, may God help us. Kidogi, I was trying to find the meaning of Nihon Hidankyo. It's called the Japan Confederation of A and H bomb sufferers organizations, shortened to Nihon.
Atomic and electronic.
You know, the US dropped an atom bomb on them one time.
Oh yeah,
Hiroshima.
Yeah, so maybe that's where it comes from.
It was formed in 1956 by someone called Hibakusha. You know, well, it's nice. Imagine they've been working since 1956. They are universally recognized in 2024. Mr. T, how do we calculate? That's all. That's like 60. No, that's 70 now.
70 or so. Yeah.
68. Since it's 56, we are doing old people's mathematics class.
plus 1 here. Carry one. Carry one.
Okay, Alex, let's go.
All right, we're coming back home. We're coming back to Africa, and the title of the next story is African Diplomacy. It says the leaders of Egypt, Somalia, and Eritrea have met for a summit, cementing what observers are calling an axis against Ethiopia, the only landlocked country in the Horn of Africa. Are they uniting against Ethiopia or what?
That's what is insinuating. I thought that diplomacy is to find peace. I don't know that diplomacy is also to look for war. Please, no, we don't want war now. You know, I don't know what they are ganging up to do now. You know. Okay.
All right, next we're going to the US. It says self-driving taxi. Tesla boss Elon Musk has unveiled the firm's long-awaited robo-taxi, the cybercab in California.
Oh, that's Mr. T's friend. Yeah, that's Mr. T's friend.
Oh, come
You
on.
know, I call a cab. You say, "Hello, I'm going to Palende." Yeah, and he gets to 10 million bridge. The guy turns back and say, "Let's hold up." I say, no, this is not hold up. This is not hold up. This is just small. He said, no, this is.
Those guys should
And he
take
gets
it
to do more
easy.
time. I say, wow, the long jump. We got to reverse. He said, no, we don't reverse. Oh God! Imagine your cyber cap in Dumota. He will be so frustrated.
It won't work.
Oh
Yeah.
my!
But
Anyway,
you know why it won't work here for me. Ordinary the GP that's being used by all these riders.
yeah.
All these riders, leave the names out.
Yes.
They punched my address one day, and I sat in the car, and I could hear the instruction: go right, and I kept saying my house is to the left.
He's on
Before the
the
guy knew what was happening, the guy said that he had gotten to Opic Gate and was turning towards the Ibadan. And the guy was saying, turn right, continue your journey. I said, Mr. Man, please make a U-turn. I'm going back inside that place.
does this.
It's going to be terrible someday.
I could take place. I was one I could take place one day, and the place was very rough. And I said, okay, I will depend on Google today, and I allowed it to be going. Went round. So I said, before I get lost, let me park and ask somebody where is so. He said, you are past it. He said, there are 5, 6 feet away that you turn that. So, bro, I just say, okay,
Oh my
you
God.
have tried. Pound, you have missed. Pound, you have. I just ask you on the road, please, where is here? Where is this? Oh. But sometimes they're good. They get it right.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going on. We're going back into the UK, and the title of the story is Delivery Mishaps or Prank. A student in the UK found a live scorpion in a parcel from fast fashion firm Shein. The Chinese retailer said it was looking into the incident.
Thank God
A
it's
live
UK.
scorpion. Someone delivers a live scorpion to you.
Wow.
If it is Nigeria, it is not. They will say it's deliberate. It's a diabolical method.
They will say it's village people.
You have to go and do deliverance fast. But live scorpion. I was bit once by scorpion. That thing is not easy. I didn't know how I got to hospital. I was in secondary school. They said me to go and buy something in the hostel.
But what type of error was that? That was deadly.
Do you know, even when they took me to the hospital, people still went to that spot and killed it. I don't know how they did it, and they killed it. They killed it. They killed it. I mean, it wasn't moving too far. Maybe it was waiting for another person to bite, But I don't know how I landed in the hospital. I have never fainted in my life. Oh my. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Maybe not get a parcel of scorpion.
All right, next we're going to India. And the title is Famous Indian Tycoon Dies. Ratan Tata, whose Tata Group bought Jaguar, Land Rover, and tea company Tetley under his leadership, has died aged 86. Thousands are lining up in Delhi to pay homage to one of India's best-known business leaders.
Yeah, Tata. And it's a philanthropist.
Tata is huge.
Tata.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, here is a billionaire, and he couldn't live beyond 86. So how many of us in Nigeria will live up to that 87? That our millionaire is only in naira, or millionaire is only in naira. You have so much money in dollars, and you can't live beyond. You couldn't live up to, like a Jimmy Carter that lived 100 years and all that. And in Nigeria now, what is our chance of living up to 86 years? Except God intervenes. So, with the way Tinubu is dealing with us, another 8 years, I'll be 7 years of Tinubu, the age something will scale down drastically. Because the worry alone.
The worry is what the worry, honestly. The worry is what the worry. It's sad.
The anxiety of our
Wow.
Hello. I think there's a glitch.
With us?
Yes. I lost you for a moment.
Alexa,
can you hear me?
Okay. Now I'm hearing you. I don't know what happened to technology.
Everything went up. Everything went up.
Yeah, okay.
The
ahead,
next
please.
story, long and challenging recovery ahead, takes us to the United States. It says more than 20 urban search and rescue teams are going door to door in parts of Florida, worst affected by Hurricane Milton, the U.S. state's emergency chiefs have said. Meanwhile, recovery teams are working to restore power to millions of homes and businesses. Florida is under siege by hurricane.
Yeah. Okay, let's try and wrap up the stories.
All right. Now, the next is war in Ukraine latest. Russian missiles have hit a civilian container ship at a port in Ukraine's Odessa region, killing 7 people, according to local officials. So Russia is still firing missiles on Ukraine. Then the next story, titled Giant of Tennis Steps Ahead. Giant of Tennis Steps Ahead. And it says Rafael Nadal, the 22-time Grand Slam champion, has announced his retirement from tennis at the end of this season. Rafael Nadal is leaving.
Yes, don't try.
Fantastic player.
Federer and
Djokovic
or whatever.
Djokovic, yeah, Djokovic. I never missed any of the encounters.
Wow. The three of them for like over 2 decades. Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Serious rivalry.
And such an intense sport. It's a good time to retire. Before the small boys will start using you to clean floor.
To practice.
Okay, any more story?
Okay. The next
last
story,
one, all right?
Yeah, that's the last one. It takes us to the United Kingdom, and the title is Breakdance Tumor. A breakdancer developed a cone-shaped lump on his head due to years of extensive head spinning practice. The benign tumor was more than an inch thick, according to reports in the British Medical Journal, and it has led to warnings to fellow breakdancers to consider reducing head spins lest they develop a break dance bulge.
They better change the style of dancing. Spinning is very dangerous now.
They should ban the head spinning. It just doesn't working for me. I don't understand. You dance and you start to use your head to represent your feet. Honestly, I don't know how they
You
do it.
remember Johnny Walker? Is it Johnny Walker or what? That kind of dance competition we used to have. Here. You have not finished dancing if you don't head spin. Oh, you have to head spin on the floor, do back spin, do cartwheel, do head spin.
I
That is the
understand
couple.
they're considering it for the Olympics now.
More
That would be
head,
interesting.
more head to more. Oh my, oh my.
What kind of advancement is this? I don't get it.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alex, for that interesting section on global trends. We'll be back shortly. Let's look for something to wrap up the day. Oh my. Oh. Yeah, he's lovely. My voice favorite, Johnny Drill. There's Romeo
Mm,
and Juliet.
mm.
Oh my, this jazz line issue is serious. I'm,
I
I'm
can, I
getting
can imagine.
my my clips down, down, down. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay, I don't know what's wrong with Boston today.
Mm. I would have loved to hear what he feels about Madame Tinubu, who's defending her husband,
Yeah.
saying he's not the cause of hardship.
Would Madam Okunda not defend you? That's the
No, yeah, that's the truth because I said it on the
that's
radio show the other day. She has no reason to say no to, yeah, argue against her husband. You know,
there's no point. You know, she's got Madam Tinubu now. What would she say that when it's not Ivaka Trump? You know,
You mean a banker will go against her husband?
this read a book on abortion completely against Trump, and she
Oh
kept a
my
straight
God.
face.
no, she came out very fairy against her husband.
Yeah, so
In that, yeah, she did,
the woman did not send anybody. Oh. I don't
she
think
And
they
to
did.
stay in the
think
same room, not talk of the same
that
house.
that woman may enter the White House again,
Yeah,
You think so?
possible.
because I don't think it's going well for Kamala.
Hmm.
Hmm.
The
The
polls,
only
the polls
problem she will have is the wranglings within the Democratic Party itself, and it's going to be a shame and an end game for democracy for the Democrats if they do not support her. It's going to be an end game for them. They lose it, they won't get it back in a long while.
I think they are united in our support. I have not seen anything like division.
There's some
You know,
potholes there. The highly conservative ones are there, still amongst them.
yeah, just like the Republicans too, they are not essentially heavily united. They are also having their issues. I think I think it's going to be very close, very very close, closer than the last time, especially in those swing states.
Hmm.
You know, pumping money in heavily.
Yeah, but
I think it's
when
very,
you
very
look
close.
at a state like Atlanta, where it's been you've had the Democrats there for a long time.
Hmm.
Now there's so many dissenting voices over issues, mainly over issues. You know,
Hmm.
the border issues and illegal immigration. Those people are taking the jobs of Americans, and it's become a major issue. And Trump's policy is against all that. So you may end up having people voting against the Democrats because of policies, not because they love Trump so much.
You know, and honestly, man, when it comes to politics and decisions of voters and voting processes, Americans are queer and very different people. They usually do things that will surprise the whole world, you know, and that's the truth. Obama the other time was saying something like he finds it unbelievable the number of black men in the camp of Trump.
Yeah,
and he said it diplomatically and so brazenly.
But you know, the thing is, for so long, the black people in America, in their majority, have supported the Democrats. But recently, they've realized that have they really benefited from that support, right? The metrics show that during Trump's 4 years, that employment increased dramatically among the black minority, and that their standard of living rose sharply, you know? So people are now asking questions that, okay, we had a president who was black. What did he do for the black community? There are questions, you know? So you have a lot of prominent black people now saying this time they're going to vote Republican.
Okay, gentlemen, we're going back live.
Okay.
We are back. We are still on the Vintage Talk Show with the Fudge. And we are still here, all of us, Mr. T, Alex, and hopefully one more voice will join us to talk about cover headlines of top Nigerian newspapers. Let's start with these complainants known as Daily Telegraph. It says, Mr. Alex, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Mr. T, are you back?
Sorry, yeah, another glitch. Fine, no, let's go. Thank God.
It leads to the story, Saturday Telegraph, that is. It leads to the story, the cover, sources. Tinubu using vacation to compile new cabinet list. Who cares? Just want better things out. Then there are writers, kickers that says, President not under pressure to reshuffle cabinet. No rift in presidency, say Ononunga and others. Then Tinubu departs UK for France. About just going all over the place. We don't care why you compiling. Why do you need vacation to go and compile ministerial list? Something you can do now too. From all they have been doing, you can receive. I beg, please.
I would have preferred him just keeping quiet over that and letting that particular issue slide.
Sources are talking. It's not the one talking. There are sources.
No, he also came out. No, I'm not talking about the president talking. Was it not the great man Okukwe that came out to say something about it a few days ago or yesterday? It was in the headlines yesterday. He came out to say this is what is happening, and people were asking him, let's hear from those who are in the service at the moment. He came out boldly to talk about it.
Say there's no problem, there's no issue and all that. I don't think we care about the list. It's not as if we are going to be shocked when the list of reshufflement comes out. It's going to be recycled, like usual, as usual kind of a thing. So nobody has a hope about reshuffling making impact. What we want is prices of fuel to go down, prices of food to go down, prices of things that benefit us as individuals and families to go down. Simple. If you like do your reshuffle in Kupiwe, you don't care. Okay. Abi, do you care where the little list is made?
The fact is,
I, I
the
really
petrol. Yeah, go ahead, please.
I really don't think the list is the issue here. That's not the issue on the front burner. You know, uh, people don't really. If you talk to the common man and the majority of Nigerians, I'm sure they don't really care who you put on your list. Let them work. Let's see results.
Yeah, that's the results.
That is it. You know, the cost of living is getting higher by the day. The cost of products, necessary things, are just getting more expensive. You promised
Yeah,
a minimum wage, it's not being implemented. Most people cannot afford it. I mean, so what are we doing?
yeah. The priority is about life, living, not about cabinet reshuffling and all that. Uh, well, it's not their fault. It's the Telegraph that is putting down up. One more story on Telegraph, then we'll move on. Here is a small piece that attracts attention. It says we'll start arresting out of school children from October 15. That's the federal government threatening. They will start arresting out of school children. You know, is it the children they will arrest or the, the parents? Then is it that they're going to provide free tuition for them? Do we have free education at primary school level that they
What
are going
plans do
to,
they have? Yeah, what
you
plans do
know,
they have?
what is
When
there?
you arrest them, are you locking them up for an offense
You
they
know
have
that the
committed?
reason why they are out of school, have you taken care of that reason? Are you going to feed them? Are you going to clothe them? Are you going to send them to a free, non-fee paying school? You know, are you going to buy uniforms for them? Those are things the parents cannot afford because they are looking for what how to eat, and the
You
cost
know,
of eating is even more than the cost of going to school.
yeah. A week ago, I was in Kano for some days. Had a program there, and in the area where we stayed, there were children, walking on the streets all hours of the day. They were just there, you know. And I got
In
talking with
Kano.
a colleague, and he said, of course, they're out of the Alimajiri thing. They're out of school and all that, and that something needs to be done about them, you know. Because if something's not done, those are the people who become a menace to society. They end up in crime. They end up in insurgency and other things, you know. Now, if they're going to start a program for them, they have to ensure that it's attractive enough to absorb them. Apart from it being free, they should be able to feed them to some
Yeah,
extent so that they'll be
yeah.
attracted to it.
At least the
If they
midday
don't do
meal.
anything like that, I mean, nothing's going to change.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think the key word arrest is improper. I don't think maybe it's the fault of the media organization to arrest children for being out of school. It's an indictment on the government and the parents. You know, as it were. Anyway, moving on to Saturday's Sun. It leads with this screamer. As petrol prices, taxes, tariffs soar, Tinubu under fire. Your policies spreading poverty, according to economists. Expect more taxes, price hikes. Development experts say that importation has dropped by 55%. Maritime stakeholders say the cry is mainly let the prices come down, the ones you can control, which is fuel and taxes and tariffs. Let it come down. You know, those the critics who fear Tinubu as a taxman, uh, based on their experience in Lagos, is tenure in Lagos, are being proved right now, seemingly, because everything is just going up, tariff, taxes, prices. You know, how do you wake up and say the petroleum product we refine in our home ground is now more expensive than when we used to import them. When they removed so-called subsidy, they were saying that 600 naira, and we are complaining it was too expensive. Now we are doing it, and you are saying you are selling those products to Dangote now from October, the first week, and naira and all that stuff, and even as the middle crisis has increased their petroleum prices and all that. No, whatever the argument, we can't be buying fuel now at 1,000 plus per liter. I mean, I was in a petrol station, and this guy came in with his down for this yellow strip, something. This is one you call Korope or something like that. And they bought fuel, and I was watching. How much fuel did he buy? At the end of the day, it was 2,000. He had full crowd. How many trips will he make for that 2,000 to finish? How is he going to cope? How much is he going to take home to his family?
Yeah.
Then one or two of his children, and they're not at school. Then you will arrest them on the road for not going to school. How is he going to? Oh, I'm losing my voice.
Go ahead, sir.
No, after you. Go on. Sorry.
All right. I watched the analysis, and I'm not really sure. NNPC is claiming that they've taken their hands off it. And people who are speaking on their behalf said they were trying to bring the price down originally when they were the only ones lifting from Dangote. Now I don't understand. Now that it's been thrown open, how come the price has gone up? Nobody has been able to explain why or how they came about the price. Is it that Dangote is charging an international price for a product being sold locally? Because, the refinery is in an export processing zone. Some people look at it from that perspective, saying maybe he's looking at the rates in the international market and using that to determine how much he will sell to the marketers who will live from him. That is one explanation. Another explanation is the issues of taxation in between. How much is government actually collecting from Dangote based on the crude it supplies and the process of taxation when they sell refined? Because there are all those things that have to be done during that process. Now, the only thing we don't understand is how is all this done? Nobody has been able to come out and analyze it into detail. And that makes people suspicious of the whole process.
Exactly my point as well. I'm not going to repeat everything you said, Alex, but in a nutshell, we do not know the exact price Dangote is releasing this product. NNPC suddenly discovers that no, it cannot move off the middleman role. The middleman role is always the basics for everything. Somebody gave me an analogy the other time, 2 days ago, and he said, you remember when we used to buy goats or rams at the marketplaces? Somebody is an intermediary. That intermediary is talking on behalf of the person who is actually the cattle seller. What they agree between them, you don't know, but the man will come back and tell you, this is how much this thing is. That's the role NNPC wants to play in this matter. However, we must be very careful. Transparency matters here now. Something is shady, something isn't working. How much are you taking it off Dangote, and how much are you bringing it out to the people? First, how much are you distributing and then giving out to the people? The last price is the cost price, which is affecting everybody on the streets. We know that, like government has said, crude to be used for the refinery should be in naira purchases and not in dollar. Have we effected that? If we have, then Dangote should come out. There should be some explanation. Nobody is saying anything. So right now, if you have your 50 kg of petrol, Alex, you could take a walk down to Ojuelegba and hawk it.
Mm.
You could hawk it, and you are hawking it 100% of what you got, what you bought, how you bought. This is getting out of hand. Everybody is a free fall. It's a free fall. When they said everybody, all marketers should come in now and be involved, I said they are trying to tell us to your tent, O Israel. Government is saying that when it comes to this level, we don't have a control over it. Nobody controls the price of bread from the supermarket to the consumer. Who controls it? Is it government? No. Price of bread keeps going up. What is that? 2,000 naira in some places, is 1,800 in some places, and the government official will look at you and say, at least it's available. These are very tricky times, and they must come out. Petrol is the key. Petrol affects everybody, and it is what impacts everybody. It is true that we assess the impact a government has made on the people. It's a people thing. They have to come out and talk. It's still very cloggy for me. I don't know.
One of the policies that the Tinubu administration came up with was to look for alternatives. They're talking about compressed natural gas. I'm sure you've heard about it. And they're asking motorists to change the tanks, or at least put in a mechanism in their cars that can accommodate the compressed natural gas. But my question is it really cheaper than fuel? One presentation that I watched was that it lasts longer per kilometer. But I'm looking at the cost of converting. How many motorists can actually afford to put in a 65-liter tank into their car and do the conversion process? Those are some of the issues.
Well, this is not what Aliko Dangote told us at the beginning, 4 or 5 years ago. It's not. They gave us impression that when the refinery comes on steam, Nigerians are going to be happy. We are not happy. This is not how we planned it. This is not what you told us. You didn't tell us that when your fuel comes up, it will be more expensive than what we used to buy. No, they didn't tell us that. Let's go on. There are a lot of things they didn't tell us that we are seeing now. Before we start, we've been praying for them and let us not turn to the other side, and let us do the best we can to make things happen. Don't let us turn to something else. Okay. Saturday Vanguard says Ajaero reveals understanding with Tinubu. We accepted 70,000 minimum wage for government not to increase fuel price. Then another line says petrol price deregulation. Federal government jacks up landing costs for imported products. That's what's happening. Shooting up things. He said the idea was, federal government has refuted that, but I don't think the man will be lying. He said there's an understanding. Okay, we wanted 250,000, but he said you can't pay. And reality on ground is that they can't pay. Yes, we understood that. So we'll accept this, but let prices stay safe, go down. Now you jack it up. You say nobody told you anything about that. Who's going to be fighting government about who said this, who said that? Who's the government self? You don't know who is lying and who's fibbing and all that, But to accept to pay this salary, to suddenly within the same week increase the fuel, and today it's not going yo-yo. He goes as he likes. You go there this morning, he has changed. You go there the next street, he has moved up, and none of them is ever coming down. It's grotesque. It's terrible. You can't live like this now. You can have, you want to travel on the road to your state or to some other parts by road. If the flight is not available, you're going to pay 1,000 naira. Life is for fuel. We used to joke with politicians when they say the prices of this thing is cheaper than Coca-Cola and all those nonsense in the past.
Yeah.
No, now is it like when you start buying a crate of Coca-Cola that will not be happy that it is now more than Coca-Cola? It's unfair. It's unfair.
I can't imagine what's going to happen during this festive season that is approaching, especially for people who want to travel home.
Oh, yeah.
Just too much now,
Travel home, this expensive stuff. It's not as if you just walk in and buy fuel anyhow. You still have to queue. Okay, the queues are shorter, but you still have to queue. Upon the fact they're freezing you and of your money, you are still suffering to get the fuel. One more headline from Saturday Vanguard, then we move on. It says, this civil rule is no democracy. Nigerians bemoan impunity of president, governors, and recommend ways to check their excesses. This is the feeling of people. This is a feeling of Nigerians on the street. It doesn't look like a democracy. There's too much impunity. Yes. Well, no, this thing, you go ahead and do it anyway. And then you come on stage and say you know that we are suffering. You know that we are this, but your plans are high. Would we not be dead before the plans materializes?
I think our economic policy decision makers have an issue. And that's the reason why some people have been talking to the presidency. When you have a team of people, with due respect to them, and you begin to feel that a law of diminishing return is affecting their engagements, pronouncements, and actions, then they're due for change.
Yeah.
There's something wrong about the policies and decisions we are taking. There's just something not right about it. And somebody said also, an economist was talking, he said he has a feeling that people there think about themselves first before making policies or advising government about the policies that government should actually, He said that most times they are very selfish in the things they do, and he doesn't understand why. And it's getting to a point now that people are asking questions. What fact just read now is a tough one. It's a very, very tough one. And when you look at it, there are some underlining breaks about it that the newspaper or the media you have read from is not actually explaining. There's an innuendo running under that particular statement. And government officials should begin to think about it. But the question is, who listens to all the analysts in this country? Who listens to them? Put all of them together. Put them in one whole state. Let them fill up. Who listens to them? Who listens? Nobody listens. So sometimes people just keep quiet. Nobody's listening. Nobody's thinking through. Okay, this is an idea. Let's tap into this. Nobody.
It is because of all that we have this next headline from Weekend Trust. I thought that this was like last week's edition, but apparently the problem is agitating their mind so much. The lead story says calls for regional government. And they spoke to ACF, that is the Arewa Consultative Forum, Afenifere, that is the Southwest people, then Ohanaeze, that's for the Southeast people, the Middle Belt Elders, and then one Professor Jibrin Ibrahim. And the sub-headlines states does. It will open doors for more agitation. That's from the ACF scribe. What we want is true federalism. That's Afenifere. Then there will be competitive development. That's from Ohanaeze. And then create more states instead. That's from the Middle Belt Elders. Then Ibrahim said, not a good idea. Ideas are jamming ideas there. The problem is that with this democracy we are practicing.
Well, I think it's a bit related to what we
And they
just.
can't feel. Uh, Hello, are you back?
Yeah, there was a slight glitch. I hope you can hear me
Yeah,
clearly now.
yeah. Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying it's just a bit related to what we said earlier. When people find that things are not working, they begin to
Hmm.
question the system. That's what's happening now. We're asking ourselves, do we truly live in a democracy? Is it really working? And the problem really is it's not working. It's not working the way it should be working. For instance, when it comes to the issue of policy pronouncements, how does policy come into being? How is it implemented? Is it
Hmm.
debated the right way? Do we do proper analysis before we initiate it? Or do we just have a minister somewhere standing up and saying this is the new policy and there's no going back on it? You know, we have problems with a lot of these situations. We have a National Assembly who people hesitate to say they are really representing them because they're not really debating the issues. They're not looking at the pain points of the people they represent. You know, anything that comes in from the presidency, whether it's palatable or acceptable or not, they just pass it. They don't ask questions. And they don't bring up bills or ideas that will promote the well being of the average Nigerian. We could cite a few things. Okay. When I got into a debate over this with someone, they mentioned the students' loan. Yeah, that's a good
It is
Hmm.
policy,
too late.
you know,
You know,
uh, and some other things.
I was
But
reading. I was reading. You had a glitch there. So I was reading the headline of the Tribune that buttresses what we have been discussing. It says hardship. Undume asked Tinubu to do something before it is too late. Says it is not good to test people's patience. It's in
Hmm.
tatters, as it were. People's patience has been shredded. They are forlorn. They have lost hope completely. You know, it's. But let's move on. We will leave. There's a story that leads about 3 or 4 newspapers. It's about the PDP leadership tussle. Tribune says PDP leaders move to save party. Governors, BOT say no faction in party. The National Working Committee groups stack each other. Court bars party from removing Damagum. That is the acting national chairman. That's from Tribune. Leadership says as two national chairmen emerge, governors BOT rally to save PDP from collapse, while this day says drama as PDP National Working Committee splits. And another one, uh, there's a subheadline that says suspension, counter suspension, rock party.
Hmm.
Oluguna Ajibade Damagon. Anyanwu involved. Court stops removal of party's acting national chairman. Wabara sues for peace. No faction in PDP, says Mohammed. Pledges to revolve. No politicians. They are scattering everything. No problem. There's no, there's
All
no,
is well. All is well. Even in the well, all is well.
politicians are so adept in lying that they lie to themselves
Oh,
in the
come
face of
on.
former
facts.
governor Kwankwanso made a
Oh,
statement. He said the PDP is dead and that the APC is not facing reality.
wow,
You know,
wow.
that's how he summarized the situation. Right now in Nigeria, there's no opposition. So the APC
None.
is just having a field day, you know. The strong man in the PDP, Wike, we don't know what he's doing anymore. He doesn't seem to care about the party anymore. He's facing his own battles in Rivers, focusing on Rivers, and trying to appear to be working at the federal capital. Right now, when you look at PDP, you can't pinpoint any group or anybody that's really representing the party, and it's sad.
It's very sad. Let's
There
wrap.
is an implosion. There is an implosion in all of these parties. Internal implosion. That's what is happening, and it's a shame because had we had a very literate voters policy, people should begin to think about party structures now. The same parties that will come out to solicit for votes are the ones having problems within themselves. How are they going to be strong enough to lead the country and give sanity leadership? How are they going to do it? It's a big shame, and they are not sitting down to see it. Rivers is a case in point. I don't want to discuss it at all because every time I think about it, and I say to myself, this is 2024, 2024, and it's still the same pattern of the 1960s and 70s political drives. We got a long way to go. They should sit down this morning and think about this thing. It is a big shame. It's not working.
Okay.
You can't turn your house upside down. I want to vote for you. I won't vote for you. Hit your house first.
Let's wrap up this segment with the call Saturday Independent. Two stories I want to take from it briefly as we move on. It says, the first one says, integrate IREV into Electoral Act. Yaga Africa urges National Assembly. IREV is the INEC, the component of INEC electoral business, where they send in the result from Divas into online platform that all we can see. The last time I checked it, I was disturbed because you see pictures of funny pictures of private entities as a copy of polling results. And I believe it has improved since. I don't know, but that would have been a nice advancement for us in terms of the electoral process. That make it a law that every election from the polling booth you can easily download and send to the IREV. The portal should make transparency very clear. We all can add up the figures by ourselves and corroborate with what INEC is putting out officially to know whether there's any hanky-panky going on. I think it needs no push for the National Assembly to integrate that in our electoral law reform. Now the last story, I'm sure this spoke to what Alex mentioned earlier. The last story is how CNG, that's the gas conversion thing, converted natural gas, may offer compelling alternative to gasoline and diesel. Federal government and all marketers say it's budget-friendly transportation solution. Motorists are saying those are, apparently using it. Pressure on petroleum products will be reduced. That's Busui Efikpo saying. Experts want government to address high cost of converting existing vehicles to CNG, which was Alex's argument. So if we have a strong push towards converting our vehicles to gas instead of gasoline, it probably, apart from the emission issue, the climate change issue, it probably will be economically better. But the initial cost of converting, I understand, is quite prohibitive. How does an average person, is he looking for 5,000 to buy 5 liters of fuel? How do you convert? Uh, does anybody have an idea of how much it costs to convert?
No, I didn't.
I
I didn't
don't.
get a cost, but I've just been hearing about complaints that is on the high side. I really need to check that. But beyond that, there's also the issue of availability. Compressed natural gas is different from the liquefied natural gas that we use for cooking.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
different kind of gas entirely. So is it going to be available nationwide?
Yes.
Will we have it at the different fuel stations?
Many
These are.
stations. Yeah.
Then another thing is, will it be less expensive compared to the fuel? Because right now, I don't know how much you buy the gas you use in cooking, but I know that a liter is over 1,000 naira.
It's 1,200. 1,000. In fact, the last one.
So can they assure us that the compressed natural gas will be cheaper? You see, these are the questions.
Okay. The answer is in the air, as they say. Thank you so much, Mr. T. Alex. We are moving on to the last leg of today's show, which is the revert to the old school. It's called the Great. We'll be back shortly. And that's where Mr. T will lead us in the service to borderland.
Let us know. You have artists on the list. We are using the names of the artists.
We are using Balamila.
Balamila, okay.
Yeah.
Abajos.
He's on.
Are you sure? Yeah.
He's on. What's it called? He's on. We are doing the Greats. So the Great is a single individual.
I don't have enough information on him at the moment. Well, we'll try. Then, are you sure it's in the queue? Have you played it? So the Jazzla is funny, and the Jazzla that you're using there that has not been upgraded or something.
I'm still battling. I'll get it.
You could play it, and you hear that it's Victor Olaya coming out.
That'd be serious.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jazzla, I know those things. Just check first. Listen through the audition, so we don't embarrass ourselves.
I checked Balamila 2 months ago. It was in the Jazzla. I'm checking it now. That's not. That's in there.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? These things they have a mind of their own. So what I think we should do is just shift. You've trailed it. Have you trailed it?
I have to look, and I've already prepped with Balamila.
Exactly. Now that's the error. So we have trailed the wrong thing. So let's substitute quickly. I can imagine what you're going through, honestly, there. And the seconds are counting.
Technology.
Yeah.
I will just interview you. I just interview you, play music. I can't come and kill myself.
Oh my God. Okay, let's play safe. Do you have Victor Olaya? Let's just play safe.
I do. We played that one before.
Oh, you've played it before. Okay, leave it.
Yeah.
Then Sonny Okosu, which way Nigeria? Sonny Okosu, which way Nigeria?
Done Sonny Okosu.
Which way Nigeria? Let's respect that theme of that segment anymore. It's too late. Let's just play appropriate music that we can reflect on. I think.
Yeah, the mood.
So,
okay.
So we can move on. We can even talk about the piece of music. So let's leave the history out of it for today. Yeah.
This song is singing, "Save this country now." Wow. So it's appropriate now. For now.
Well, it is. But whose song is it?
This is Ajebo Hustlers. I will ram them up now and play the mandators called Politicians. Then I will play 2 more songs and then we should be through. So we just talk about Nigeria. It's our point blank is state of the nation. So that we just talking over it. That's why I said there'll be more lamentation today than analysis.
Can't you see anything bright? Oh God.
It's so sad.
Okay.
Well, Hustlers. Ajebo Hustlers say Barao, say remix with Davido, say this country now wow. Na real wow. What are you feeling in your end? We have about 10-15 minutes. You can still call us 0913-697-3485. This country, is it wow for you over there? 0913-697-3485. Let's listen to another complainant. The mandator says politicians. See how he described our people, our politicians. You mentioned that song by Victor Lai. What's it called?
Victor Lai. Iluleo.
No. Ilule is Victor Lai or
Is Victor Lai? Is Victor Lai is Is Victor Lai? Iluleo Kosobolode is Victor Lai. Orlando Zone was the one he did with Sonny Ade. Nigeria yiti gbogbo wa ni. So that is Sonny Ade piece, but he used many. It's telling me.
They wrote okay said they did like we are the world kind of.
Yeah, they did like the world USA for Africa pattern. Orlando was on it.
Yeah.
They were all coming, but it was telling me wrote the song. I remember, but for KSA, yeah.
For better Niger.
Yeah, that's a very good one. We use it on my station almost every day, but for briefings. But it's a really good song. It's not abusive. Nigeria yìí ti gbogbo wa ni kò má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́.
The problem is Sonny's song is always in a clutch.
In a clutch, yes, that is true. And it has to appear under Sonny because Sonny owned the rights.
Yeah, I headlined it, yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Nigeria, yo, Isheti Bubuwa.
Isheti Bubuwa.
At all.
Oh, Alex, you are right. It's true. Isheti Bubuwa. It's not for all and sundry.
It's not.
Agboayani is a bad literature. Very bad literature. Uh,
Wow. Anyway, I can't see Sonia. That's Sonia the thing. Uh,
okay, no, don't worry.
mm,
Um,
it's all
no.
only 17 minutes. 8 minutes. This long stuff.
Okay.
You're listening to the enchanting voice of Victor Eshiet of the Mandators in the early 90s, or is it late 80s? It's describing our politicians. They have not changed, though. They are the same color, same configuration. They are just bigger, more pot-bellied, and they have more money. They are not running anywhere again. No. They are very stable. Is it Jaja? See them running. See them running away. No, they are not again. They are very confident nowadays.
uh,
Yeah. We used to be ruled by military leaders, military rulers, military all this. Now we are having genuine politicians ruling us. So we are seeing the difference. Sadly, Victor, our politicians today are not running anywhere. They are very stable. I have a call. Let me see if I can get him. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Dr. Moses Adebayo. What would, okay? Wow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. It's a different thing. Mm, yeah. Mm. Are still with us. Yeah, you're right. Yes, I hear you. Mm, yeah. Wow. Mm, okay. Yeah. Yes. 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 And and even the local government. Yes, you're right. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's terrible. It's terrible. So it's a weekly program every Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. a.m. Thank. My name is Femi Akintunde-Johnson. They call me Faj. Yes, thank you. And all these people and all of you, fame and all that. Yeah, thank you, sir. By the grace of God, thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us. So, Mr. T, our doctor friend is saying, don't despair that people do listen. Say something terrible, and you see some people come and show up looking for you, so that it happened to him. That he said something somewhere from the high quarters called him to say, no, it's not like this, it's not like that, and all that. So don't stop talking, don't stop believing. People are listening. They'll change one day. You see, how they react to it is a different matter, but they are listening. They may not respond to you. And Neil Kosun says, which way Nigeria? We want you to call in. Let's hear your views more and about the way Nigeria is going. The way Nigeria, I read somewhere, someone, very sarcastically showing that the state is so bad. So there was a pool of water, he was bathing it, and he's saying, this is what the governor of Delta State had donated to us. That he was bathing in the pool of dirty water, got soap and all that stuff. And he was later arrested for lampooning the governor. He mentioned the governor, mentioned the former governor, Okowa, and then he mentioned another person, maybe local government chairman, mentioned them by name. And then someone he was accusing a particular party chieftain for calling for his arrest. He was on the Arise television, and they were saying, why will you arrest someone for protesting, a personal protest about his environment? It's a crazy world, a crazy country. Okay, before we go, I'd like to put in this one by the authentic evil genius. We call him the evil genius of our life. He said many years ago, Ilule, o. Only the second generation after Victor Olaya, like Mr. T, you'll understand what's going on here.
Faji, it's a sad commentary. I never would have believed that years after that album was released, we will still feel a little bit in the same quagmire. 2024, I keep roaming 2024, and I remember when we were very, very young, when you say 2020 something, and then people say long, yeah,
Remember the book 1984? It was like, like
exactly 1994. A very long time. It's a lie. It's come and gone.
Oh God!
And we still find ourselves there. I think again, when we keep doing the same things the same way, strategies must change. Politicians are the next leaders. Abi now, so we're still talking to them. You have to sit back and understand. Local government base begins the story of the mind in a Nigerian context. Empower. Let us feed it from the schools. Schools are down. Many schools can't open. Public schools you can't enter. Hospitals are dry. People are jackpying. Students, medical students are also in the queue to jackpot as soon as they get their certificates. Hospitals are, these are things that worry me. I'm not saying they are not thinking about it. I am only saying that I don't want to say Omikpo Jokaloni, that probably other things are underlining and huge things are happening. They are not finding it difficult to prioritize, but everything to do with the soul, the mind, the spirit of the people you lead matters a lot. The younger ones are in a very dark shade. The younger ones are in a dark shade. and they are coming to live tomorrow. What are we living for them?
Terrible.
That's my thinking.
Well,
Most of them have
thank
no
you,
hope.
Mr. T.
They have no hope in this
Thank
country.
you, Mr. T. Let's use that occasion to say your bye-bye before Alex launches into his own tirade. You know,
I just wish ourselves well. Think right, do right, be positive in life. And if you are leading, lead positively with good intentions. Good morning.
yes. Good morning. Lead with good intentions. The prayer for future confirmation. Alex, you're bye.
Yeah, I just want to say stay focused on what you're doing. Try no matter what to get something doing and find a way, even in the terrible system that we find ourselves. Try and create a system for yourself to survive and thrive. God be with us till next week.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
And finally, yes, Ife.
Let's be hopeful for the coming days. Let's be hopeful that our coming days will be much better. Goodbye to everybody.
This is the first time I'm seeing it's the
Amen.
first Sumba. Is it the talk that we've been talking?
It's Mr. T that gave us the
What did she say?
You're the one that gave her the beat, whatever. She's very sad with all that she's been hearing.
Mr. T's
I'm
analysis
sorry. I'm,
has
I'm
said,
sorry, Fife. I'm very sorry. I apologize to you and the Gen Zs. Well, we got to talk about it.
Ah, Victor, Elder Victor Olaya says Zilule Kosowolude is so apt. It's so apt to Kosowo, Kosepo, Kosegbo, Kose anything. You know, it's tough. It's tough. But we are hopeful that things will get better. Right. As we always say here, be genuinely nice to people. Every day, people around you that is, and do good as usual and as best as you can afford it. We say it often. Let's keep make it a practice, a lifestyle. Do good to people. Government, do good to your people. State governor, do good to your states. Local government chairman, do good to your local government chairman. The Baba Adubo, do good in your community. The CDA, every one of us, every strata of human society, not just government. You're also government at home. Do good as a good father, a good husband, a good child. Everyone do good as best as you can. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week. Oh, thanks, gentlemen. See you later.